Discover the secret of healing through medical astrology. In this second part, we will deal with the planets in houses 6 and house 12, as sectors where acute and chronic diseases are observed in a birth chart. My name is Pablo Pinero. I am an astrologer residing in Chile, professor at the Latin American University of Astrology, ULA, and director of the Institute of Higher Astrological Studies, IES-Astro.
In the book Astrology for Therapists and Healers, written by astrologer Tito Mesha, the importance of defining potential diseases or health disorders is explained in a clear and concise way, when considering the rulers and co-rulers of the 6th and 12th houses, identifying these as the houses of acute and chronic diseases respectively. In my experience, when talking about regents, I consider both domicile and exaltation. Let's analyze a specific case of an elderly male person. For the purposes of this video, we will study the 6th and 12th houses, the signs found in them, their rulers and the ruling planets. It is also important to analyze the cosmic states of these planets, in order to discover if they are potentially benign or, on the contrary, their energies can develop both acute and chronic diseases. The 6th house is associated with acute illnesses, that is, those that occur, are treated, and go away. In this case, they are associated with the signs of Libra and Scorpio, signs that govern the middle and lower abdomen, intestines, kidneys, reproductive system. The ruling and co-ruling planets of this 6th house are Venus, Mars, and Pluto by domicile, while Saturn by exaltation. Mars and Saturn enjoy very good cosmic status, while Venus, Neptune, and Pluto would be the planets most sensitive to health changes due to their positions in the birth chart that are not so cosmically favorable. Meanwhile, the 12th house is associated with chronic diseases that can be long-lasting and could be treated for a long time or lead us to be admitted to a hospital or take us to bed. In this case, the signs that are in this house are Aries and Taurus, which fundamentally govern the head and neck. The ruling and co-ruling planets of these signs are Venus and Mars by domicile, while the Sun and Moon are by exaltation. Mars enjoys a very good cosmic state, while Venus, Moon, and Sun would be the planets most sensitive to health alterations that lead to being treated in hospitals and long or lifelong treatments. Let's now look at the diseases associated with these cosmically weak planets, which could potentially generate alterations in health. We will take as a source the book Astrodiagnosis, written by Robert Wall. Let's start with Venus. The urinary system is associated with these planets. Any problem or defect in the kidneys, ureters, bladder, prostate, and urethra. Skin problems, pimples, abscesses, fistulas, irregular pigmentation, warts, cysts, fungi, boils, sebaceous accumulations, psoriasis, jaundice, scabies. Contagious venereal diseases such as syphilis, gonorrhea, and AIDS. Sexual diseases due to sexual perversion, excessive masturbation, priapism, frigidity, nymphomania, sadism, masochism, premature ejaculation, exhibitionism, voyeurism, fetishism. Synthesis of mineral salts in the body due to deficiency or delay. In the case of the planet Neptune, the following diseases are associated with it: autism, catatonia, mental confusion, drug addiction to any type of foreign substances that alters the normal mental functioning of the individual, affects sensitivity or emotions, necrosis. Death due to any limb or tissue, lymphadenopathy, carcinomas, neoplasty, cancer. While the planet Pluto is associated with diseases such as acidosis, chronic mineral deposits, adenoiditis, arteriosclerosis, arthritis, epidermis, premature aging, hoarseness, irregular menstruation, ovaries, metabolism, nasal catarrh, nervous breakdowns. Pituitary gland, pests, bacteria, prostate, uterus, venereal diseases. In relation to the anatomy associated with the signs in question, according to Robert Wall, it can be indicated that Libra is associated with the kidneys, lumbar vertebrae, dorsal muscle, adrenal glands, transverse and descending colon, renal arteries, renal veins, ureters, bladder, prostate and urethra, dermis and epidermis, nose and ears, first sacral ganglion, visceral nerves. While Scorpio is related to the sexual organs, vertebrae associated with the sacrum, iliac, pectineus and psoas major muscles, iliac arteries and veins, penis, testicles, vagina, ovaries and womb, rectum and anus, coccygeal ganglion. The signs associated with the 12th house of this example are related to the body anatomy of the sign of Aries, being the head, the frontal bone, the turbinates, frontal and transverse muscles of the nose, the pituitary gland, the ovaries, the testicles. The carotids, the celiac arteries, jugular and celiac veins, eyes, ears, tongue, nose. While the sign of Taurus is associated with the throat, the occipital bone, the lower jaw, masseter, occipital, sternocleidomastoid, splenius, lateral and angular muscles of the scapula, hyoid bones, trachea, larynx, pharynx, teeth and molars, tongue, tonsils, parotids, thyroid and parathyroid. Until now we have talked about potential diseases that this person could have throughout life. The important thing will be when these can be activated in time, to be able to make appropriate predictions. Diseases tend to be analyzed in the clock of 72 and 144. In this case, looking at the attacks of 72, the activation dates that could have been important were in 1980, 1994, 2010, and more recently in February 2020. This last date coincides with an operation for head cancer. When analyzing the clock of the Attasires of 144, and in particular the date of February 2020, Pluto by Attasir reaches the midheaven and the moon Mercury reaches Uranus. In some ways, these symptoms are not so important when identifying a chronic disease. Rather, Pluto, being related only to the 6th house, is an acute illness. In November 2023, which is why this consultation is performed, the consultant is diagnosed with moderately aggressive prostate cancer with little risk of spreading outside the prostate. The question asked is whether it is a chronic disease. As previously analyzed, for these dates the attacks of 72 or 144 are not activated, which indicates that the health alteration is not of great importance at this time. Consequently, and due to the nervous situation of the consultant, we went on to analyze the events of the 16th, the clock of critical days, in order to confirm his concern. The attack of Neptune is observed reaching the cusp of the 12th house. This is related to the idea that one will have to be hospitalized to perform an operation to remove the tumor. The moon due to attack reaches Uranus, indicating that there are setbacks for the surgical operation to be carried out, since it requires other factors beyond the person's control. The 360 degrees attack can also be analyzed to complement, which indicates the social repercussion that it can have and affect the individual. In this particular case, on the date of the consultation, the planet Pluto is observed above Neptune, a clear signifier of prostate cancer, Neptune, Pluto. On the other hand, the Sun reaching the 12th house, showing concern about the loss of vitality, while Mars reaches the Moon, indicating the operation as such. In conclusion, we can say that the current crisis has no relevance in time. The operation could take place on a date between January and February 2024, where the 360 events become partial, that is, exact. The operation should be successful, since the planet Mars, ruler of the 12th house, is involved, this being the best planet from the point of view of the cosmic state in the natal chart of the consultant. Obviously, the fact that astrologically, the situation does not pose great difficulties, one should not abandon all medical efforts to eradicate cancer in the shortest term. We hope you liked this video and that it has served as inspiration for you. If so, don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. And if you have any comments, suggestions or questions, leave them below. We will love to read and respond to you. Our social networks are WhatsApp +56937221611 and email pablopinero52@gmail.com. For inquiries in English, the social networks are WhatsApp +525519181603 and email susanaastrologica@gmail.com. Until next time, and have a great day.